While Donald Trump's extreme executive actions seemingly represent an attack on marginalized communities, people of color, federal workers, migrants, immigrants, science, I want you to know in this video that this is part of his playbook. It echoes a lot of the things he did last time, but a lot of people weren't paying attention. Two, that this is going to backfire royally, and it's going to backfire faster than it did when he first was in president in 2016 to 2020. Three, you should rest assured to know there's an active resistance. There's an onslaught of lawsuits that have already been filed, and more will be filed. There's a lot of agencies, organizations, unions that are already activated and have teed up a lot of lawsuits and fights to his agenda. So rest assured that. And three, you need to know that there's more that you can do. There is no passive sitting around being a victim of the Trump administration. You are more empowered than you think you are. So I'm going to tell you ways that you can actually actively participate in this resistance, because believe it or not, last time when Donald Trump tried to put a bunch of these things in, he lost 93% of the time. Why? Because unlike other presidents that follow procedures, Donald Trump does not. For some reason, someone a long time ago told Donald Trump that Article 2 of the United States Constitution gives him the right to do whatever.
Then I have an Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
To believe that he's a king. He wants to rule the United States the way Kim Jong-il rules North Korea, the way Vladimir Putin rules Russia. But we have a democracy. We have processes. We have procedures. We do have a balance of power. We do have federal judges that were appointed by Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, even George Bush, that aren't down with all this crazy MAGA agenda, who follow the rule of law, who follow process and procedures. There's a thing called the Administrative Procedure Act that requires executive agencies and the executive of the United States to actually issue rules, notice, and comment, allow the public to comment. So this is where you're going to come in, and this is where calling your representative, this is where being an active participant and a member, media tracking and watching and actively participating and heeding to calls to action to write in is going to play, because without a record to support and substantiate your actions, they are easily going to be overruled by a court. And there are lots of judges. You should take a look at the judges, the colorful array of judges that Biden and Obama put in play that are federal lifetime judges that will be around. And what happened last time, like I said, he lost 93% of the time. All of his actions just percolated for 4 years until he went out of office. So that's what's going to happen again. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for the rest of this video. First of all, what you're seeing is something that's not uncommon for second-term presidencies. Barack Obama, for example, could not have launched his My Brother's Keepers initiative, which helped Black youth, or his Attorney General Eric Holder could not have asked issued an initiative to see whether or not, to the extent that schools are punishing Black youth disproportionately for the same offenses in school systems. That would have been considered sort of extremist by some people, and that could have cost him a second term. So that's something he needed to wait to the second term. So anyway, so Donald Trump had an opportunity to just coast in on Joe Biden's economy, irrespective of what you might be feeling personally, what you might have seen in the media. Unemployment is 4.1%. During the Biden administration, we had record growth in wealth, record hourly wage gone up. The S&P 500 was up. The NASDAQ has been consistently up. Joe Biden is the only president ever to have job growth month after month after month. Black home ownership actually has been the highest since 2019. The Latino home ownership was 30% boosting up. The rate of inflation is the lowest. Actually, we've had the lowest drop in rate of inflation compared to other industrialized nations, and all the economists say so. So he had the opportunity, similar to Obama gave him a great economy. He had opportunity to just coast in and chill, but he doesn't want peace. He wants problems. So he's going to just strip all the construction sites, take all the workers, the farmers, the factories, and so we're going to feel this. He's going to issue tariffs against our allies in Mexico and Canada, and we're going to feel that in prices. Home construction is going to come to a halt. It's going to be a hot freaking mess. Last time, over time, his MAGA base amongst veterans, among farmers, eroded over time as his policies start to negatively impact them, as his tariffs actually start to hurt them, and they left the MAGA. Charlie Kirst actually got Donald Trump this win, and believe it or not, his margin of victory for a popular vote is the lowest compared to all candidates who've won the popular vote, including Hillary Clinton. In fact, in the House of Representatives, the Republican majority is so slim that it took one representative, Paulina Luna, to just go over to the Democratic side when Mike Johnson refused to advance her bill that would allow her and other moms who are nursing to actually vote remotely, or other people in mourning. And that was it. As you saw already with Pete Hegseth's narrow victory with J.D. Vance casting the vote, that the majority in the Senate is very slim and fragile. It just takes one special election for them to lose the House altogether. So we're just biding our time. I have faith that the federal judges, including the judges appointed by Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, even George Bush, are going to stop Donald Trump's extreme agenda. They're going to follow the law. They know that an executive president cannot change birthright citizenship, something that is enshrined in the 14th Amendment. They know he can't remove the Civil Rights Act. They know that he can't abolish the Department of Education. They know a lot of the things that he's trying to do are unconstitutional and beyond the scope of his authority. He does not care. That's why, again, like I said, he loses 93% of the time. A lot of people are suspicious of the Supreme Court because they did give Donald Trump immunity in that case and overrules Roe v. Wade in affirmative action. Donald Trump's two appointees, Amy Coney Barrett, has proven to be sort of a maverick. She's gone against him. She's kind of independent. Similarly, Brett Kavanaugh has ruled against Donald Trump in the past, and Chief Justice Roberts actually is quite principled. So all he has really is Justice Clarence Thomas, Justice Samuel Alito, and Justice Neil Gorsuch goes along with them as well. So there are opportunities when they have ruled against Donald Trump. When he asked the Supreme Court to block his tax returns from being released to the Democrats, the Supreme Court said, nope, they're going to see your tax returns. When Donald Trump asked the Supreme Court to back him in stopping the banning of TikTok, the Supreme Court says, no, we're going to go ahead and side with Congress on this. When Donald Trump asked the Supreme Court to stop him from being sentenced in the New York hush money case, the Supreme Court said, we'll take a pass on this. So they have consistently ruled against him in the past, and they will again because they follow the rule of law. They have a burden. They have a challenge. They take an oath to the Constitution for the most part, and they know their legacy has to outlive Donald Trump. So they're also not, unlike members of Congress, can't be primaried. They're there for good. So they don't necessarily owe Donald Trump any reading of any laws in his favor necessarily. So that being said, that is your job now to know that you are empowered. You can do more than you think you can. One of the things you can do is join the unions, follow these organizations, donate to their cause, sign up for their media trackers. So when they say there's a call to action, call your representative, call your senator. We have he needs to have a record established. The Administrative Procedure Act says that before an executive branch can do anything, it has to be based on the record. So if the record does not substantiate or support it, then it gets challenged in court and he loses. That's why he loses, because he doesn't do the action. He thinks he wants to rule America like Kim Jong-un rules North Korea, the way Vladimir Putin rules Russia, but he does not live in that type of country. So he's trying to rule the wrong country. The Project 2025 people are just being aggressive with their agenda because they know very well that as hard as they're going balls to the walls, that is going to piss a lot of people off. You've already seen some of the MAGA people say, oh my God, my wife was caught up in the hiring freeze, or my husband actually is being contacted by ICE. This is not supposed to happen to us. He told them the only people who are going to be affected are the trans community, DEI, people of color. He said the federal workers, and he said, I'm going to bring your food prices up and I'm going to keep you out of war. Those are the 5 things you need to worry about, Gen Z boys. And I see them in my comments in my videos saying all these things. And I said that before when I started my channel last time, when I actually pivoted my channel in September to try to warn people to the extent that Donald Trump is coming, that when he was president last time, there were more workplace deaths because he decreased the extent to which they went after OSHA violations. There were more food recalls. We had a rollback of 100 food environmental regulations and protections. That Jeff Sessions stopped the enforcement of police reform efforts. Like all this stuff is not new. They've done it before. They're just going more aggressive with it because he thinks he has a mandate and it's a second term. And irrespective of what you hear about the third term, this is it. So they're going all out aggressive. With this aggressiveness is going to trigger a lot of people. You guys have to keep it on the house and minds from now on. Don't let people forget. Keep constantly echoing and parroting these things. Join organizations. You can follow I put a lot of these down in my companion document I have for folks to support the work I'm doing here at outlasting47.com. It's constantly updated. I even have a cabinet pick bingo on there. So you pay for it once, it's $7.99, and that's it. You get all the updates. But you don't have to do that. You can just join the tracker, whatever you're interested in. But know that you don't have to just sit down passively and accept Donald Trump's draconian, cruel agenda as is. You are empowered. You can do things. You can join organizations. Spread the word. Share this video with other people so they know.